Welcome to episode 5 of our series, where we explore the remarkable connections between what you eat and how your body ages. Can the food on your plate hold the key to a longer, healthier life? Aging, it's one of the few guarantees in life. We're all on that journey every single day. But what if the secret to slowing it down isn't some high-tech breakthrough or futuristic invention, but something as simple as the food we eat? You see, we've come to understand that food isn't just fuel. It's a form of information. Each bite sends signals deep into your cells, directly influencing your DNA, the very blueprint of life. And here's the exciting part. Certain foods can literally switch on or switch off genes that play a role in how we age. Those blueberries you snack on, they're helping protect your cells from damage. That salmon on your plate? It's triggering genes that reduce inflammation, one of the biggest accelerators of aging. Dietary interventions give us the power to modulate the aging process at a genetic level. Science is showing us that while aging is inevitable, the speed at which we age and the quality of that aging isn't set in stone. What you eat can actually shape the way your body responds to the wear and tear of time. In this episode, we'll dive deep into how the food choices you make today can have lasting impacts on the genes that drive the aging process. And before we continue, I'd like to give a special thanks to Planksip for promoting this series and helping us bring these groundbreaking insights to a broader audience. Let's step back and take a closer look at the intricate science of aging. Because aging isn't just about gray hair and wrinkles. At its core, aging is a genetic process happening at the deepest levels of your cells every single day. Imagine your DNA as a long, well-worn road. When you're young, the road is smooth, with very few cracks. But as time goes on, wear and tear begin to show. Potholes form, cracks spread, and without maintenance, the road starts to crumble. That's essentially what happens to your DNA as you age. One key player in this process is something called cellular senescence. It's when your cells, after dividing a certain number of times, essentially go into retirement. They stop dividing, but here's the kicker: they don't die. They hang around, releasing harmful substances that lead to inflammation and tissue damage, accelerating the aging process. But the real damage comes from within the DNA itself. Over time, your DNA accumulates damage from the environment, from the food you eat, even from the sun. And then there's telomere shortening. Telomeres are like the protective caps at the ends of your chromosomes, kind of like the plastic tips on your shoelaces. Each time a cell divides, those telomeres get shorter, and eventually they're worn down to nothing. When that happens, the cell can no longer divide, and it becomes damaged. The genes that regulate this process, they're the unsung heroes trying to maintain that road. Let's talk about a few key players. 1. FOXO3. This is often referred to as the longevity gene. 1. People with certain variations of this gene tend to live longer. 1. It helps protect cells from oxidative stress and inflammation, keeping them functioning longer. 2. SIRT1. This gene plays a crucial role in maintaining cellular health. 2. It helps repair DNA, manage cellular stress, and regulate metabolism. 2. It's like the repair crew trying to patch up the cracks in the road. 3. Telomerase. This enzyme is a bit like a magical repairman for your telomeres. 3. It helps slow down the shortening of those protective caps, giving your cells a little more time before they reach their limit. So, when we talk about aging at the genetic level, we're really talking about the balance between damage and repair. The road of life wears down, but your genes are there, trying to keep it as smooth as possible for as long as they can. And here's the fascinating part. What you eat, how you live, can influence these processes, giving your body the tools it needs to maintain that road a little bit longer. All right, now let's zoom in on something remarkable: how the food we eat doesn't just nourish our bodies, it actually communicates with our genes. That's right, your diet is like a direct line to the genetic machinery that controls how fast or slow you age. You've got these genes, FOXO3, SIRT1, telomerase, all working hard to keep your cells healthy and functioning. But here's the twist. They don't work in isolation. They respond to what you feed them. The nutrients you consume every day can either support these genes or create obstacles that accelerate the aging process. Take antioxidants, for example, found in foods like blueberries, spinach, and nuts. These powerful molecules act like protective shields for your DNA. They neutralize free radicals, those pesky molecules that damage your cells and speed up aging. By doing this, antioxidants help genes like FOXO3 and SIRT1 work more efficiently, reducing DNA damage and keeping your cells in better shape for longer. Then there's green tea. You've probably heard it's good for you, but do you know why? Compounds in green tea, like EGCG, have been shown to activate telomerase, that enzyme that helps preserve your telomeres. So with every sip, you're giving your cells a bit more time before they hit their expiration date. And let's not forget healthy fats, like the ones found in olive oil. These fats support gene expression related to reducing inflammation. They're like the oil that keeps the machine running smoothly, preventing the gears from grinding against each other. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Think of your genes as a complex orchestra, each one playing its part in the symphony of life. Some foods, like blueberries and green tea, act as the conductor, keeping the orchestra in perfect harmony. They guide the musicians, your genes, to perform beautifully, protecting your body from the wear and tear of aging. On the flip side, foods high in processed sugars or trans fats, they're the noise, throwing the orchestra out of tune, disrupting the performance and speeding up the aging process. So, the next time you sit down for a meal, remember, you're not just eating for energy. You're eating to guide the symphony of your genes, helping them play in harmony with each other, keeping your body younger for longer. Now, let's talk about the real stars of the show, those specific foods that have a profound effect on how your body ages. These aren't just health trends, they're backed by science, showing us how what we eat can directly influence the genes that govern our lifespan. First up, let's dive into the world of omega-3 fatty acids. These healthy fats, found in fatty fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel, do more than just keep your heart healthy. Omega-3s are like the body's natural anti-inflammatory agents. When you consume them, they help reduce inflammation, one of the biggest drivers of aging and disease. They also play a critical role in protecting your cells from damage, acting like a shield against the wear and tear of everyday life. Next, we have the powerhouse duo of polyphenols and antioxidants. These are compounds found in foods like berries, dark chocolate, and green tea. Their job to fight oxidative stress. Now, oxidative stress is essentially the process by which free radicals, those unstable molecules we talked about earlier, cause damage to your DNA and cells. Over time, this accelerates aging, but polyphenols and antioxidants step in to prevent that damage, like bodyguards for your cells. And then there's resveratrol, a compound found in red wine, and before you get too excited, it's not an excuse to drink a bottle a day. Resveratrol activates the SIRT1 gene, which is heavily involved in promoting cellular longevity. Think of SIRT1 as the repair crew for your cells. It helps regulate stress, metabolism, and DNA repair, all of which play a key role in keeping you healthy as you age. Now, let's take a look at the Mediterranean diet. This diet, rich in olive oil, nuts, fish, and a moderate amount of red wine, has been shown to reduce the risk of age-related diseases like heart disease and Alzheimer's. But why? Well, it's all about the genes. The Mediterranean diet influences genes associated with inflammation and cell repair, reducing oxidative stress and promoting longevity at a cellular level. It's a diet that works hand in hand with your body's natural defense mechanisms, supporting the genes that help you stay healthy for longer. Think of these foods as your genetic allies. Each bite is like a conversation with your DNA, telling it to repair, protect, and maintain your body's cells. So, whether it's a handful of berries or a piece of fatty fish, the right dietary choices can turn on the genes that keep your body running smoothly and turn off the ones that accelerate aging. In essence, the power to age gracefully is literally on your plate. You're not just fueling your body, you're engaging with the genes that control the aging process, and the foods you choose can make all the difference. Let's explore an idea that has fascinated scientists for decades: the notion that eating less might actually help you live longer. Across many species, from tiny worms to primates, caloric restriction has been linked to increased lifespan. And now, we're beginning to understand why this works, not just as a result of fewer calories, but because of what happens at the cellular level. Imagine this: your body, when it's not constantly processing food, has time to focus on something else, repairing itself. This is where the concept of intermittent fasting and caloric restriction comes into play. By reducing food intake or having periods where you don't eat at all, you're giving your body a break from digestion. And in that downtime, something amazing happens. Your cells switch into a different mode, engaging in a process called autophagy. Autophagy is like a cellular cleanup crew. When your body isn't focused on breaking down food, your cells start to clean house, getting rid of damaged proteins and cellular components that, if left unchecked, could lead to diseases or accelerate aging. It's like clearing out the clutter so your cells can work more efficiently. Let me give you an analogy. Fasting is a bit like spring cleaning for your cells. When you stop eating for a while, your body gets a chance to tidy up, sweeping away the damaged, dysfunctional parts that would otherwise accumulate and cause problems down the road. Without this regular cleanup, it's like letting trash pile up in your home. It's only a matter of time before it affects your living environment. And it's not just about throwing out the garbage. Fasting also triggers pathways that promote cellular regeneration, allowing your body to repair itself from the inside out. It's a balance between breakdown and renewal, giving your cells the tools they need to function more optimally. Caloric restriction and intermittent fasting are showing us that by eating less or timing our meals more strategically, we might be able to turn on genetic pathways that help slow the aging process. Your body becomes more efficient at repairing itself, which could help reduce the risk of age-related diseases like Alzheimer's, heart disease, and even cancer. So, the next time you think about food, remember, sometimes giving your body a break from eating might just be the secret to keeping it younger, healthier, and functioning better for years to come. Next, let me introduce you to one of the most fascinating concepts in modern biology: epigenetics. It's the idea that while your DNA remains the same throughout your life, the way your genes are expressed can change. And one of the key influences in that process is, wait for it, your diet. Think of your genes as a book, one that holds the entire blueprint of who you are. Now, while you can't change the words on the pages, you can change how that story is read. This is where epigenetics comes in. Epigenetics is like the highlighter in the hands of your body, deciding which parts of the story get emphasized and which parts stay quiet. And here's the kicker: the foods you eat are controlling that highlighter. Your DNA sequence doesn't change, but the epigenetic markers, chemical tags that attach to your DNA, do. These tags can turn genes on or off, essentially controlling how your body responds to everything from inflammation to cell repair. In other words, your genes are not your destiny. They're more like a script that can be edited based on the choices you make, particularly the foods you consume. For example, let's talk about cruciferous vegetables like broccoli or Brussels sprouts. These veggies contain compounds that can add epigenetic markers to genes responsible for detoxifying your cells. So, when you eat them, you're not just getting nutrients, you're actually guiding your genes to keep your cells clean and functioning efficiently. On the flip side, a diet high in processed sugars and unhealthy fats can highlight genes that promote inflammation, essentially fast-forwarding the aging process. That's the incredible part. You're not just eating for calories or taste. You're engaging in a conversation with your genes every time you sit down to eat. So imagine your genes are like a book, and every meal is an opportunity to highlight certain sections of that book. Will you highlight the passages that promote longevity and health? Or will you highlight the sections that speed up aging and disease? The choice is literally on your plate. Epigenetics is showing us that while we might inherit a certain set of genes, we have the power to influence how those genes behave. Your diet can serve as the conductor of this symphony, orchestrating which genes perform their roles and which stay silent. And that, my friends, is how the food you eat today shapes your health tomorrow. Now that we've dived into the science of how your diet interacts with your genes, you might be wondering, what should you actually be eating to give yourself the best shot at aging well? What practical steps can you take to influence your genes and promote longevity? Let's break it down. The goal is simple. Feed your genes the information they need to support cellular health, repair damage, and slow the aging process. So what does that look like on your plate? First, think whole foods. We're talking about fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and healthy fats, the stuff that doesn't come with a label full of ingredients you can't pronounce. Whole foods provide the nutrients that help regulate your genes, turning on the ones that fight inflammation and repair DNA, while turning off the ones that promote disease. So, what should you be focusing on? Start with the basics. 1. Berries. 1. These little powerhouses are packed with antioxidants that help reduce oxidative stress and protect your DNA from damage. 1. Think of them as little shields for your cells. 2. Green vegetables. 2. Whether it's spinach, kale, or broccoli, these greens are rich in nutrients that support detoxification and help regulate your genetic pathways for healthy aging. 3. Fatty fish like salmon or sardines. 3. These are loaded with omega-3 fatty acids, which reduce inflammation and protect your cells from damage over time. 4. Nuts and seeds, particularly walnuts and flax seeds, which provide a mix of healthy fats and antioxidants to support cellular health. And here's another thing to consider. It's not just what you eat, but how you eat. Intermittent fasting, for example, is showing promising results. By giving your body breaks from digestion, you trigger processes like autophagy, where your cells clean up and recycle damaged parts. It's like hitting the reset button for your cells. So, practical advice. 1. Incorporate more berries, green vegetables, fatty fish, and nuts into your diet. 1. These foods are like fuel for your body's repair systems, keeping your cells functioning at their best. 2. Consider intermittent fasting or simply reducing your caloric intake. 2. It doesn't have to be extreme. A little goes a long way in giving your body time to repair itself and slow down the aging process. At the end of the day, it's not about following a rigid diet. It's about making consistent choices that work with your genes, not against them. The food you eat every day is shaping the way your body ages, so why not give it the best chance possible? Imagine a future where your meals aren't just about what's healthy in general, but what's healthy for you, specifically down to the molecular level. We're entering an era where your DNA could guide your grocery list, where personalized nutrition is designed to fit your genetic makeup like a custom suit. Right now, we're already seeing advances in DNA testing that allow us to glimpse how our genes interact with food. But the future? It's much bigger. Scientists are working on ways to tailor diets for each individual based on their unique genetic code. What works for one person might not work for another, and understanding that at the genetic level could revolutionize how we approach eating and aging. Let me give you an analogy. We're standing at the edge of a new frontier, where your DNA could be the map that guides your meals, turning your diet into the most powerful tool you have for longevity. It's as if you're receiving a personalized instruction manual for your body, written by your genes, showing you the best way to live a long and healthy life. Imagine being able to avoid certain diseases, improve your energy, and extend your lifespan just by adjusting what's on your plate, according to your genetic blueprint. The possibilities are endless, and with ongoing research, we're getting closer to a time where personalized nutrition will become as routine as checking your cholesterol. The future of diet and genetics is bright, and it's bringing us closer to a world where you won't just be eating to live, you'll be eating to thrive, guided by the very code that makes you who you are. We've explored how the food on your plate interacts with the very essence of who you are, your DNA. But here's the big takeaway. What you choose to eat every day isn't just about nourishment. It's about influencing the very genes that control how your body ages. With every meal, you're having a conversation with your DNA, shaping your future at a genetic level. Think about that for a moment. The power to impact your longevity, your health, your vitality, it's right there in your hands. So the next time you sit down to a meal, remember, you're not just feeding your body. You're giving your cells the instructions they need to thrive, to repair, to slow down the clock on aging. As we look to the future of personalized nutrition and genetic science, one thing is clear. The potential for dietary interventions to transform our lives is just beginning. So stay curious, stay informed, and keep exploring how the choices you make today can shape the life you'll live tomorrow. The power is in your hands, literally on your plate.